So in May this year, the World Health Assembly adopted its first ever global pandemic agreement, endorsed by 124 nations. It's a landmark on paper, but will it stand up when the next pandemic hits? Here's what the pandemic agreement is looking to include. Number 1, pathogen access and a benefit sharing system, including rapid sample sharing. Members must hand over viral samples within 72 hours of detection to the WHO's network. Tiered allocation. Once vaccines, antivirals, or diagnostics are approved, 20% of global output is earmarked for all signatories, and 10% free for low and lower to middle income countries. Tech transfer clauses. After 6 months, non-exclusive licensing kicks in, so regional manufacturers can produce generics if originators fall short. IP no block rule. No patents can be wielded to stop the production during an emergency. Number 2, global supply chain and logistics network. 6 regional hubs across Africa, Asia, Latin America, Europe, Middle East, and Oceania will hold weeks of buffer stock. And a green lane across borders clears medical cargo within 12 hours, bypassing red tape. 3, coordinating financial mechanisms. We've got assessed contributions where each state will commit 0.02% of GDP to a shared pandemic preparedness fund. And we've got an emergency window up to US $5 billion is automatically released within 48 hours of the WHO declaring an emergency. 4, independent inspections and compliance modeled off the nuclear safety framework. All signatory labs and manufacturers face triennial external audits plus unannounced spot checks. And inspection reports will be published publicly with timelines for corrective actions. Repeat offenders risk suspension from benefit sharing privileges. Even though some of these operational details are still in the draft stage and not in the final version, this is still a huge step forward for humanity, with real benefits for Australia too. I'm very happy to see this landmark pandemic agreement. However, I'm also just a little bit weary. When the next pandemic strikes, spreading from a single airport to every continent in less than 24 hours, this treaty has no teeth, no enforcement, and nothing binding. It can't find countries that miss targets, and it doesn't force technology transfer. Its financing promises lack legally binding commitments, and history reminds us that disease has killed more humans than war ever did, whether it was smallpox or the Black Plague that wiped out 1/3 of Europe. And in the middle of a pandemic, when a country's citizens are getting infected by the thousands or even millions every single day, I'm skeptical about whether governments will be acting in cooperation and actually sharing their vaccines as per this pandemic agreement, or whether we will go back to vaccine hoarding and not sharing any data. Which is why I'm going to keep fighting for a seat for humanity, to push Australia to take the next step and bind these measures into enforceable law, to secure guaranteed funding and drive genuine global cooperation, and also to get other countries to do the same as well from inside their national decision making.